So in the last session, we did some operations on string, and at the same time, we learned how to create list and some operations on list, and we discussed about top tuple, and then we did some operations on tuple as well. So guys, you all have learned the difference between tuple and list, you know. In this 122nd line, we got a error in the last section, that is tuple object does not support item assignment. You know, we cannot change the element or we cannot add elements in a tuple, okay, but we can change and we can add elements in case of list, okay. So now I want to do something, that is you know about set. Any idea, guys?
Set is the combination of elements.
Malaya, just mute your sound, okay. Sunaina? Sunaina?
Yes.
Have you done up to tuple, that is tuple object does not support item assignment?
Ma'am.
Just respond to me.
Yes, ma'am, I have done.
Done, no? Okay, do you have idea about
Yes, ma'am.
set? Do you have any idea about set?
You can say that set is a collection of items.
Okay. It is unordered. Okay. List is ordered, but set is unordered. Okay. And it does not contain duplicates. Okay. So set is an unordered collection of different elements of different types, and it does not have any duplicates. Okay. So how can we create set? Within braces, we have to put our values. Okay. Just do what I am doing. Okay. You all have opened Jupyter Notebook now. Just follow me. Done? Unordered means you can just look at the output. It comes as Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But every time you will not get the same order output. Okay. So you can say that set does not give you the ordered arrangement like a list. Here I have used two ways to create a set. Set one is created with the use of braces, okay? And set two is created with the use of function set, okay? So in case of set function, we have to put our items within square brackets, okay? Do you think it is an empty set? No, this is not an empty set. This is dictionary. Just check. I've used type function and the class of the empty underscore set gives dict. Okay. Now I have to learn how to create an empty set. Okay. Okay. Understood. Done up to that. I have used set method. Okay. And within square brackets, you will not pass any value. Okay. Do you have any idea about Venn diagram? You know, A union B includes all the elements of A and B set, and A minus B includes only the elements of A, and A intersection B only the common elements present in both the set A and B. Okay, so I have done the same thing here. Okay, names dot union surnames. Sum up all the elements, okay, and so, that is, it includes all the elements of both the sets, and you can also use pipeline operator to do the union operation. Names dot difference is used for subtracting the elements from one set to another set, okay, and names minus surnames do the same operation of difference, okay. Names dot intersection surnames is used to retrieve the common elements, okay, that is your A intersection B, okay. Then names and surnames has done the same thing, okay. Have you understood up to that and done? Sunaina, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Kusri?
Ma'am, I don't know understood line 15, ma'am.
Line
15.
15. Names and surnames. Names.
Yes.
Okay, names is a set which contains 4 elements. Matt, Brent, Glenn, Jen. Okay. Surnames. This was a Greg, Mark, Brett. So is there any common element between these two?
No, ma'am.
So that's why the intersection is empty. Okay, empty set.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, yes.
In case of names dot difference surnames, the surnames are discarded. Okay, only the elements present in the names set are printed out here. Okay. Now, just wait. Just wait, huh? Understood? Only the common elements get printed out here. Okay. Okay. If I want to print okay. If I want to print horizontally the items present in days underscore set one, then I just iterate the items, that is just create a loop and iterate the items over through the loop and the items get printed out here. Okay. If I want to add any name, then I can use this. I have used your add method to append or to add any new item, okay, to the names list. If I want to add several names, then I have to use update method within square bracket. Understood? If I want to remove any name, I have to use drop. I have to use discard method, okay? Robert is not printed out here, okay? So if I want to do this operation again, then you will not get any error, because if the item is not present in a given set, it will not throw any error, okay? But if I do the same using remove method, then it will give you an error, okay? Okay, that is key error. Robert is not present in the set, that's why. But remove method can be used to remove any element which is already present in the set. Suppose I want to delete mat. Okay. Here I have used remove method to delete mat. Okay. Then the names get printed out here. Understood? In the given set, there is no item Matt. Okay, there is no name Matt. So done up to that, guys. Just respond to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We can use pop function here. Okay. We cannot pass any integer. Okay. Because in case of list, we can pass integer because that is ordered. But in case of set, we cannot pass integer because set is an unordered collection. Each time the output which you are getting will not maintain the same order. Okay. That is, you are now getting Brain, George, Glenn, Jane, Kate, money. You may get it for a few times, but at the fifth or sixth time, you may get George, Glenn, Jane, Brain, Kate, money. Okay. That is the reason. That is why you cannot pass any integer within the pop function. So we just use pop function without passing any integer. That is without passing any index position. Okay. Then I'm running the code. So it will just pop out the last element which it can retrieve. Okay. That is, this time it is money. That's why it gets popped out. But next time the output may be different, and so the pop function may pop out some different element. Okay. Understood? Understood? A dot intersection underscore update method, B comma C. So what I have done, that is, first I want to obtain the common elements, okay, present in both the set B and C. Then I want to populate that common element in the set A. Okay, that should be present in set A as well. Okay, that is why intersection underscore update. Yeah, understood.
Explain this again, ma'am.
Okay, set A contains 3 elements: Castle, Ayush, Bob. Okay, B 3 elements, 3 C set contains 3 elements as well. So A dot intersection underscore update. Okay, within parenthesis B comma C. So your common element present in these three sets is what? That is
Yes, sir.
capital. Okay, so you have to populate your, that is you have to update your set A with that common element. Okay, that's why intersection underscore update method needs to be used. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
But print B and print C will give you the same thing because you are not populating these two sets. Okay. Just go through a little bit what I have done. Just look at the error. Set object is not callable because we have used in the above set method. So set method gets overridden. So I have to comment it out. I have to comment out this one. Okay. Just wait. I have just opened another Python terminal. Okay, because in that case, the set method is used now, so that that cannot get overridden. Okay, so because already set object is has got overridden, so I cannot uh, reuse the set method there. Okay, so I have opened another Python terminal. I just want to show you the use of Trojan set. Okay, in case of Trojan set, you cannot add elements. In case of set, you can add elements using add method. But Trojan set behaves like a tuple. Okay, you cannot add element. Suppose you want to add an element. It will throw an error. Okay. Now I want to show you one thing. Just look at the output. Set3 contains duplicate elements, but at the time of creation, I have first duplicate items, but when I want to print out set3 gets printed out here with no duplicates. Okay. Done up to that. Sunana, please respond to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You see, the for loop is used here to print the items present in Trojan set. Okay. Now we come to we will be covering today dictionary. Okay. So do you have any idea? Do you know what is dictionary? Sunaina, Sushri, any one of you? Just respond to me. Do you have any idea about dictionary? Dictionary is a data type, now. List is a data type. Tuple is a data type. Set is a data type. Dictionary is also a data type as well. Dictionary is the key value pair, okay, where value is any Python object and the keys are immutable object, that is number, string, tuple. Okay, so how can we create a dictionary? Just look at guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. just look at the loops I'm going to use here. Okay. If you cannot understand, then let me know. You can write I as well. Okay. I just want to use J here because I want to represent J as quantity and I want to represent I as the name of items. Okay. Have you understood? Done up to that? Guys, done up to that? Have you done up to that, guys? Just
Yes, ma'am.
respond to me. Understood? Okay. Understood? I just want to make the keys immutable. Okay, that is, these keys cannot be changed. So I have just converted the dictionary, that is my underscore dict1 to Trojan side. Okay. So now if you want to add anything, it will throw an error. Okay. Here you can see the use of Trojan set. If you want to keep your if you want to keep your keys unchanged, okay, then you have to convert these keys into a Trojan set. Okay. Understood? Here the course is a key and the corresponding value is a tuple. Okay. That is the student Ramesh, whose age is 22, have completed BTech and my MTech. Okay. I've created such a dictionary student. Okay. So if I want to get the value of a particular key, suppose okay, I can use get method. Okay, course is the key passed within the get method. Okay, it will give the corresponding values as a tuple. If I pass another key which is not present here, okay, suppose I want to print student dot get phone. Okay, so it will give none because there is no key phone present in that dictionary. Okay, so student is a dictionary. Okay, where the keys are name, age, course, and the corresponding values for name, age, and course are Ramesh 22 and BTech MTech passed as tuple respectively. Okay. Then the student dictionary gets printed out here. Then I've used get method to obtain the corresponding value for the course key. Okay. And if I want to get the value for the key phone which is not present in the dictionary student, then it will give, then the print statement gets printed out none here. Okay, that is student dot get within phone, the that gets printed out none here. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am. Can we change values in dictionary?
Yes, I'm just citing you one example. Now if you want to print some other message, instead of printing none, you just you can pass a string within the get method. Okay, understood? Now if you want to set, and if you want to change any name, you want to set phone, then you can just do one thing, that you can pass your phone as key to the student dictionary and set the value. I have set the value here, that is 555 hyphen 5555. Okay, and if you want to change value of a key, suppose I want to change the value of name. Just I am reassigning a new name. Okay, now just print the student dictionary here. Okay, student dictionary gets printed out here with the new values. That is, name is Jane and phone gets added as a new key with the value 555 hyphen 5555. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. if you want to update multiple values at the same time, okay, then you have to use update method. Understood? Done up to that? You can use del keyword to delete a particular key. Okay. Here you have to pass argument, which is a string argument, that is your key. Okay. You cannot you cannot use the pop function without any arguments, like a set, okay, or like a list. Done up to that? So Nana, have you understood the function of pop here? Age is a key passed to the pop function. Okay. Then student dictionary gets printed out here without the key, age, and the corresponding value.
Ma'am, my whole screen is black. I can't see anything right now.
What happened?
I don't know, ma'am.
Just try to connect network. Shusri, you have understood? Malaya, have understood? Have you understood, Malaya? Surena?
Wait, ma'am, I was having a question. Like in line 31, you printed the that student. Why it is printing age 2 times? You have passed age 1 time.
Where?
In line 33.
Yes, 33.
It is giving age value of age 2 times.
Just look. Just look. In the given set, I have declared age, but
Huh.
you know case sensitive. Is a
Uh,
case sensitive, okay? That's why I have done a trick here, okay? So that you can ask me a question. Understood?
okay, ma'am.
But only one age will be present. Okay?
Huh.
That's why I want to pop the age. Okay, that is the last age I have added. Okay. And
Okay,
then
ma'am.
the student gets printed out with the original age. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That is your original key age. Done up to that?
Hmm.
Okay. Just go through a little bit. If you have any doubt, just ask me. Okay. In case of case, I have just forgotten to do one thing. Symmetric difference. Na? Just suppose A1 just wait. Have you understood? Here I have used symmetric underscore difference method. Okay. In case of set A1 contains 3 elements 1, 2, 3. B1 contains 3 elements 2, 3, 4. C1 3, 4, 5. So symmetric difference means what? That is only the elements which are common to both A1 and B1 does not get printed out here. Okay, that is uncommon elements present in both A1 B1 gets printed out here. Okay, that's why 1 and 4 gets printed out here. Okay, and if you change the order, that is B1 dot symmetric difference A1, it will give you the same result. That is 1, 4. Okay, understood? Similarly, A1 dot symmetric difference C1 gives you only 1, 2, 4, 5 because 3 is common to both A1 and C1. So it will not get printed out here. Understood? Done up to that? Sunaina?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done, done. Suppose understood. You can format the values. Okay. Percentage is used for string. Percentage is used for integer. %2f is used for floating up to 2 decimal values. Okay. Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
How we can print out the keys and values. Okay. Just wait. The number of items present in the employee dictionary is 4. LEN stands for length, and length function gives you the total number of items present in a set or dictionary or list. Okay. Or in case of string, you can get the number of total letters. Okay. Have you done up to that? Have you done up to that?
Yes, ma'am.
That is none. Okay. That is, I have created a course fee dictionary. Okay, where the course names are keys and the corresponding values are your fees. Okay, so I want to set a default value for the key BTech. Okay, so by default the value is none. Okay, when you want to print a course fee dictionary out here, you will obtain none corresponding to the BTech. Okay, so how can you set the value? Okay,
Like we did on that employee one, course fee of for square bracket, then BTech is equal to the value of that one.
you are talking about update method.
Mm, you did na?
Yes, I have done update method here.
No,
Student
this
dot update. So what?
phone line 27, like you did in line
Yes,
27.
I have told you na, but yes, if you want to set a particular key, you can do this. If you want to set a set of keys, you can use student dot update method. But I want to set a default value. So how can you do that? Okay. Suppose here I have said course fee dot set default BTech. BTech is not present in the as the key in the course fee dictionary. Okay. So when I have said it, then it will print out it as that it will print out BTech with no values corresponding to it. Okay. So now if I want to print course fee dot set default BTech along with value, then how can I do it? Just watch. Okay. Now just wait. Understood? Understood. So Naina, done up to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, you know one thing, you have done this thing. Wait. Understood? Plus is used to concatenate two strings. Asterisk sign is used to repeat the particular string. Okay. You can do the same operation for least tuple as well. Okay. Okay. So done. Now just let me know, do you have any idea about least comprehension? I'm just citing one example. You can better understand least comprehension. Okay. Okay, one thing I want to let you know, we can also use list function. Okay, that is this list function. Okay, in this way we can create, but I'm just using here square brackets. So here what you have to do, you have to use a for loop, okay, and then you have to append the items present in num11 list to the empty list num12, okay. But if you want to do in a single line, you without uh, without remembering the indentation, okay, without uh, remembering the flow, or suppose you have to use for, if, etc. So that becomes a hectic thing now to maintain indentation. So in such cases where you face issues to maintain indentation, you want to compute or you want to evaluate the expression in a single line just to comprehend the line easily. So how can you do that? One, suppose this is your list and this is num13 is an empty list, and you are doing in this way within square bracket. Understood? X is used here as a counter, okay, which iterates through uh, which iterates through the items present in num11 list, okay. um, and then elements present in num11 list gets appended to the empty list num13. Understood?
Explain again.
Which code is easier to use? Using for loop on this single line code. X for X in num11 within square brackets. This expression is enclosed within square bracket. Okay. Here X is your incrementing variable. Okay. Which iterates through the elements present in num11 list and gets the elements get appended to the num13 list. Okay. Num13 is an empty list. Okay. So num13 now contains all the elements present in num11 list. So this is easy to comprehend. You don't need to follow the uh, indentation, or you don't need to maintain the sequence, okay, line by line. You can do the operation in a single line.
Okay, ma'am.
If you want to check a condition and want to print out the even numbers here, so x modulo 2 equal to 0 condition is provided within this square bracket, okay. Understood? X times X for each X present in num11 list gets printed out here. Okay. You know, append can take only one function. So I want to pass L and I as a tuple, as one element. Okay. Understood? Understood this loop for each letter present in ABCD string and for each number present in the range function 4, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So A0, A1, A2, A3, then B0, B1, B2, B3. You know IJ loop concept. Okay, that is same. You when you have to do some computation over I and J values. Okay. Similarly, here you want to append letter present in the string ABCD, and for each letter present in the ABCD string and for each number present in the uh, range function, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, that gets appended to the empty list, and that gets appended to the empty list num16, and num16 list gets printed out here. Okay, just look at the append method I used twice. The parenthesis one is used for append function, another one is used to pass the L comma I as tuple, as one single tuple item, because append does not take more than one argument. Okay, understood? But if I want to do it in a single line, then how can I do it? List comprehension will help me. Understood? Sunana, have you done up to that? Sunana,
Ma'am,
have you done up to that?
we're not done this one.
Just do. Have you understood?
Comprehension is very difficult.
Just you have to do a little bit practice. Okay. Because the logic does not get changed.
That loops is very easy than doing this list comprehension.
doing a little bit practice, you want to follow this list comprehension. You will not want to write the code in a tedious way. Okay.
This right is easy, but this one is very difficult to understand.
Okay. So just wait. Here I don't want to print the each letter. I just I want to print this output as a dictionary, you have understood the use of GIF function. GIF is used to combine the names with the corresponding surnames. Okay. So it is not Cartesian product. Okay. It is just associating. Okay. That is, it takes the name takes the corresponding surnames. Okay. That is Ayush De or Nobdash. Okay. And Gaurav Mehta. Okay. In that way. Now, if I want to do this, if I take a dictionary, student underscore dict, okay, that is an empty dictionary, okay. Then understood. I want to print the name and surname as name colon surname. That is, name will be the key of the student underscore dictionary and surname will be the values. Okay. So for each name and surname present in the GIFT student names and surnames. Okay. This student underscore dictionary gets printed out here. Understood? So in a single line, we can do the same operation. We don't need to create a loop. Okay. And in the previous one, just look at the output. This has come as a tuple. Okay. Every name and surname is a tuple. Okay. But here I have formed a dictionary. Okay. So within the dictionary, every name and corresponding surnames have been kept. Okay. Understood, Sunaina, up to that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you want to do this using for loop, then what you have to do? Understood? So this is how you can use for loop, and this is how you can replace using for loop and use list comprehension. Okay, done up to that?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I think today we have done many things. Okay, so we have done a lot of things. So I don't want to continue the session further. Okay, so in the following session we will be covering function. Okay, generator. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just stopping my screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I've just stopped sharing my screen. Okay, Pooja. Pooja.
Tell me.
So can we wrap up the session here?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So I'm going to wrap up the session here. Okay.